2, 1, and we are here.
Hey everybody, how's it going? We are here on WebDM, Twitch. Just let me move my mic so that it's not way away from me. I hope everybody is doing well, having a good week, and looking forward to their weekend. We are playing some Dungeons and Dragons today, and we got most of the crew out at either PAX West, which hope they're having a good time. Safe travels to them, and or just out dealing with water issues in real life, So yeah,
real life aquatic adventures.
Yes. So it's going to be it's boys' night out on over here on WebD. Yeah, there we go.
Terms used loosely with this group.
Yeah.
Boys. Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Pretty frisky. Feeling pretty good.
Nice.
What about you, Grant?
Well, I'm nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of those tourists covered with oil. Scrubbing my 6-string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. We're wasting away in Golenville this episode, apparently.
Yes. We'll see. I when I found out that there would just be the two of us, or the two of y'all, the three of us, I was like, all right, I got some stuff. We're going to be playing out of some of the material from the appendix of Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is my favorite part of Ghosts of Saltmarsh. There we go.
All right. This is what we've been waiting for.
Right.
I got mine.
Get your copy.
Hot guys making out.
Hot guys making out.
Hashtag
Okay,
not
so
sponsored.
how do you map the Spanish Civil War to the Bay of Iridescence here?
You totally can. Because the setting is arbitrary. So
That's true.
I recommend that you go through the book, because they have a good guide. About half the book is how to hack it to other settings.
Okay.
So anytime you have
Josh took my copy.
He should.
Well, it was a gift for him, so he should have.
Interesting to note, you have 3 players in this campaign, so half those squares you'd have on screen that are veterans of that game system.
True,
But yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like narrating a comic book. That's the quickest way, where everyone gets a turn to narrate one panel. Yeah,
We'll play it one day, I'm sure.
Pretty sweet.
That's a good. I like that. That's a good digression, and always expand your RPG horizons. But yeah, we're gonna be playing some stuff today, and having some good D&D fun. Who knows what's I don't know what you guys will get up to.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird.
I don't know, whatever. I've got stuff. If you guys got something planned, we can do whatever you like. We are channel is sponsored by D&D Beyond. Go and check them out in preparing for the adventure. I'm again impressed by how useful their tools are, just to prep for DM stuff and create custom elements, all that good stuff. So check them out if you haven't already. And also Tabletop Loot, dice and all of the kinds of nice accessories. And they're constantly doing stuff like supporting them supports their whole giving dice away to middle schoolers who are trying to get game groups off the ground, or people who've lost their collections because someone broke into their car or something. So Tabletop, every time I look at them, they're doing something cool. So check them out as well. And so last week we did some ocean travel, some travel on the high seas. We're not quite high seas. Y'all never really left the side of the coast. And frequently, it's like a tiny half galley, right? So it's not quite an ocean going vessel. It's not like a giant 3-masted kind of thing. But there'd be days of nothing, then something, then kind of nothing. And I think we're going to start here in the middle of a storm, because that sounds good, and I don't think I'm ever going to roll the storm I want to use using the tables, so I might as well just use it like this.
Yeah. Make it. You can have it.
And this is how we die. It's like, so how was the adventure? Well, Jim used the storm he wanted to use. And
it's not the one that batters you with a ton of damage, but it is one that causes the crew, who are comprised mostly, of course, of the frogmen, Mogogols, to act in a risk favorable and reckless manner, which means that they will make their rolls, and indeed anyone who is affected by the storm, at disadvantage on this hazard. So that's how we'll start. But I'm curious if maybe we could catch a glimpse of when the storm hits, what your characters were doing, because storms in the Bay of Iridescence come up like that. There's not usually a lot of time to prepare for them.
Well, real quick before we get going, did we leave on any particular things last time?
So last time there's sort of Larimar is going through a phase with auto riding as related to this island that y'all are headed to. There was a couple of encounters, one with a group of sea folk, like classic mermaids, right? They look like mostly human from the top half, but definitely fish, although their features are a bit sort of blunted and more Piscine than the fables would suggest. But they had sort of like these fleshy synth skin suits on, and were riding what appeared to be tumorous manta rays, which were in fact some kind of biological vehicle that they were in. And they basically demanded that you kick all the extraplaners off your ship, and that they were going to go have a word with these extraplanar water folk, these tritons and meridians, the Ganassi merfolk. They were mad at them, or suspicious of them. Not mad, they just seemed suspicious. And we were sort of like talked them down from doing anything rash. And then y'all checked out like a gross whale carcass that turned out to be a rather poorly arranged trap by a bunch of like mutant sharks with arms. And
street sharks.
Yeah, and so
street sharks.
Bought them off, looted their what amounted to their den. But it was just a section of travel, slice of life.
Slice of life. Okay. You did say it was 2 weeks, right? Since the adventure before then.
Since last time we played, it's been a couple of days, really. I mean, y'all are on a voyage that you expect to take anywhere between 90 and 93 days. In fact, it takes longer than you've missed. You have to like do it again because that's the way the spell navigation works. You're currently early and have time to spare. Y'all had to leave a week early because Nasher was seen headed your direction.
Okay.
So it's some time. I am keeping track of the exact number of days, but it is it's ocean travel. A lot of it is just monotony and followed by sudden bits of very violent danger, and then monotony. And so that's kind of what it's like.
Well.
We're about to go into one of these moments of violent danger.
Violent danger, ahoy. Ahoy.
Yeah.
Well, Grant, unless you have something that you want to do, I'm going to tie myself to something. That is what Calliope is doing.
All right, Calliope ties herself to something as the storm hits.
Yeah.
And,
right.
Okay.
What about you?
Where's Weirus when the storm hits? What is this?
Weirus is on deck, and Weirus would be casting heroism on the most able-looking sailor or pirate. And he would cast heroism on 2 individuals, most trusted, most likely the squires, Valeris and the other one, and be like, join me, my fellow knights, my fellow errants, and protect this vessel and assist the crew. In fear not for the storm, for death shall not take us this day. And then with that, Weirus is calling out commands as the first mate does in a storm.
Oh, certainly. All right. So Calliope lashes herself in, and Weirus strides boldly to the action
Good luck.
as you do. All right, so it's a pretty strong storm. It comes up out of nowhere, but as the opening sort of gales and gusts of rain and wind blow in, it appears it's not like just a normal storm. And I need both Calliope and Weirus to make me charisma saves, which I'm assuming you guys will be ASAP.
It's kind of our thing.
Yes. But it is clear that within a few minutes, the crew is sort of like, number one, they don't seem afraid at all of what's going on, either the Marines on board or the actual deckhands and the like. And that's good. Yeah, DC was 17.
I rolled a 1, Jim.
Ooh,
what about me?
So you are filled with false bravado and courage and will attempt reckless actions as you can, taking disadvantage on those as you...
I immediately started untying myself.
Yeah, you say, yeah, okay. That's then we're here nearby. The mast is out on deck. Calliope begins to tie themselves. It's a strong storm. So here we go. These are kind of like we're going to try our hands again at this at the way they do hazards in Saltmarsh here. So in terms of first mate, I don't know. What do you do? What are your actions? The rain is lashing. People are trying to just like bring the sails in so that they don't get torn. It's kind of chaos because everybody is like super enthusiastic and on the gun. And I'll do it, like, kind of thing, So.
The important thing is I'm calling out to them to follow the chain of command. Hearken to your superiors, hearken to your seniors, and everyone find their place in line. In order for this vessel to work, it's very important that we adhere to an established hierarchy. Otherwise, people will climb all over each other. They're already diminished by heavy rain, storms, loud noises. So it's like you've got to follow the training.
Yeah. All right. So that sounds like sort of an intimidation, a charisma intimidation. It's like you're stay in line, you know your place, follow your orders, kind of thing. So we're just gonna maybe intimidate check.
Sure.
And Josh, all right, you don't necessarily have a role as a member of like part of the officer or crew necessarily. You're you're technically part of the Marines. That's why you're here officially. That's
officially, okay.
There's a piece of paper somewhere on the ship that you did something with. So you're untying yourself,
and
very
bravely.
Yeah. Are you in any way trying to contribute to the survival of the vessel, to the survival of yourself? What's Calliope doing?
The survival of the vessel. She looks around and sees if anyone looks like they could really use somebody who's just as strong as her. Or she's not very strong.
Gotcha.
She's probably stronger than she should be.
Yeah. So there are 9 of the frog people left, as well as some drylanders, mostly appears like trollkin, who are basically attempting to bring in the sails, but it's difficult. And they're having to like climb the rigging, and there's like after the pulleys are all swinging across the deck, and somebody's going to get knocked over. So far, nobody has. It is a moment where danger is almost upon you. Waves coming in. It's just at this moment, no one is in like peril.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I could change that. Okay, I'm going to attempt to help them with the sail, possibly by doing something.
Okay.
That I know I'm good at, like acrobatics, climbing, balancing. So I might try to get high and bring in the sail and help bring in the sail.
Okay, you make an acrobatics roll to assist the crew. And what'd you get? What did Weirus get for the intimidation?
Weirus activated his channel divinity as well to give himself the charisma authority, which would allow me to add +5 to the roll. Weirus rolled a 25.
All right, nice.
I got a 13 with disadvantage for my acrobatics.
All right. So as you are scrambling up there, these ropes and the rigging are maybe slicker than you initially anticipated, and so you're able to make some progress towards your goal, but not get there in order to actually assist. You're going to have to get there the next round. So here we go. Right now, we are currently, in terms of the score of successes to failures, 2 for 2, as the one of the quartermasters goes overboard. Now, thankfully, they are frog people themselves and swim amphibious and the like, but they are having difficulty with their own area of authority, and the captain, however, is piloting the vessel. She's doing just fine. Bellet is, the picture of calm and authoritative captainship. So at the moment, we're not quite out of the storm. So let's have catch another glimpse of what you guys are up to.
Absolutely. Let's throw ourselves into it. Rashly. While I think of what I'm going to do, Rashly, what are you doing, Grant?
Okay. So something we can attempt to do is we're going to have to manipulate the sails and put them into a storm sail position.
Fly people's on a rope.
There's a modification. Essentially, it's a jib method to where we have to manipulate the sails to stay out of the storm. And so I'm going to exist in rigging the sails so that they don't get caught and torn and whipped about as it pitches and pounds on the deck.
So for that, you need to make me a strength check with athletics or water vehicles, whichever you want to have proficiency in.
Nat 20, another 25. 20 plus 5.
And then Josh, sort of same for you, you're going to use your dexterity, and it's either acrobatics or if you have water vehicles, it'll be the same.
Avoided that critical, but got a total of 15.
All right. There we go. So this is all taking place. The storm lasts like a terrifying and sort of brutal 27 minutes or so. Just this like a sitcom's worth of just like lashing rain and enchanted water that makes everyone just like try to do all kinds of rash things. In terms of the outcome of it, you have some crew members overboard, some of them who cannot breathe water. The storm is breaking up, but the waves are still very choppy, and the sails took some damage, but it's mostly these 3 crew members that have fallen aboard. The sails can be repaired, and so survive the storm. But we got 3 guys.
All right.
They do not look like they are alone, because there are dark shapes floating after in the wake.
Weir's is going to recommend we lower the storm anchor, so drop the sails altogether, remove them, and pitch a storm anchor in the water to hold us in position. Essentially, and then while we're prepping that, Bellet should heave to and kind of jib the opposite way. So instead of propelling and thrusting us, it's just cut us to a standstill. And oh, sorry, my chocolate milk is here. Thank you. Then while that happens, Weiris is going to essentially demand that the strongest sailor hold a rope and throw Weiris overboard. He shall try to pull them out of the water.
Yeah, Merriweather hooks one around one of the several attachments he has on his diving suit for the purpose.
To continue our comedic back and forth here, I am going to use an action to turn into my sea otter form, and I'm going to jump straight in.
All right, from the rigging?
Yes.
Okay. So the sail's about 20 feet high. At that distance, you're fine.
I do have, if I remember correctly, when I check my notes, I do have advantage on acrobatics when in my otter form, which would cancel out the disadvantage. Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And that effect of that enchantment effect will wear off
Eventually.
eventually. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm just feeling recklessly brave.
Yourself off, it will abate.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, so do I need to make a check for that? I guess I'm just.
Yeah, you have to make a check because if you fail, you'll kind of hit the water in a way that is not helpful.
Yeah.
But I don't think that'll have a problem.
No, I got 15.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So yeah, I'm jumping in and looking for. Well, not trouble. No, I'm going to avoid trouble, but I'm wary of trouble.
Okay. So at the moment, you guys are in water that is about 16 feet deep or so, somewhere between 16 and 20. It's not particularly deep, and the storm really churned up the bottom of the seafloor, so there's a lot of murk and a lot of just debris around here. There's also seems to be a lot of like kelp strands and other kinds of things that are left in the wake of this storm. Kind of like ran smack into it, and it's not behind you. So it's the distance visibility is about 10 feet. They are floundering, within 5 feet of the surface, just trying to hold on to anything. They can't swim. They've never seen this much water in all their life, and all they know is that it's terrifyingly brutal to drink or swim in for them. So, there's 3 of them, and it looks like 2 dark shapes under the water, moving with predatory agility. And we'll go. We'll consider it initiative as Weiris hits the water, and then shortly after Calliope does. So you have fast turns. Let's hear them.
I have a procedural question, and I want to know how you'll rule it.
Sure.
So typically when I cast Divine Favor, it'll allow my weapon to do a little bit of extra radiant damage when I hit with it next. Kind of similar to like a Thunder Smite. What I want to do is cast Divine Favor. If it like would make my sword illuminate, I'm essentially trying to make a flare out of it. That's my intention. If it doesn't work like that because I'm not a wizard or anything like that, no sweat. I'm just going to start hunting around for them, calling out.
I think it's probably glows at least in like as a candle, right? So I mean, at the very least, it gives you more than it like cancels out whatever you'd have from dark vision.
Yeah, it's rave friendly.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like if I can get something that glows, just because.
You can easily see like where Weiris is then, because it sort of would be. There's no other source of illumination.
Of course, if I have to hit anyone with it, it's going to no longer illuminate. Actually, no, it's concentration. Let me double check that spell. But yeah, I'll cast it and just.
I'll say, it's at least like a candle.
Ancestors, bless my blade. And I pray that I don't need to use it for anything other than a candle.
I mean, you might have to, but that's okay. That happens.
All right. So, so Weiris, are you casting that and doing anything else? Or just casting?
No, if I've dove in and I'm in there, I'm going to bring it up first, and that's all I'm going to do, and then essentially free action to just sort of call out. Sure. And it stays glowing for a whole minute, so it's not the next hit. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not like a smite and then it disappears. I think it's the last one.
Yeah, it's one of the better channel divinities for Paladin, I think.
I like it. Well, it's a first level spell.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant
the old gods that were buffs.
And for what it's worth, the timing of that spell is a bonus action. So I'm mostly just light up, starting to call out.
Okay, cool. How about Calliope? Fast action.
I'm gonna take a fast action if I can see these things, like see them enough to maybe target them.
The people thrown overboard, or the dark shapes.
The dark shapes.
You sort of saw them from your perch up above.
Gotcha.
Right. So like Calliope would have been the one to call out, and Weiris too, probably from like the railing as you're jumping over. You can see them from above. That when you're down in it, they know how to conceal themselves from you once you're in the water.
Interesting. Okay. So they're probably hard to make out, hard to see.
They are hidden. So yes, from where your advantage above the water, you had LOS on them, so they were not hidden.
Nice. Okay.
That's sort of the game mechanic of it.
Cool.
So yeah, they are hidden from you now.
All right. Well then. Ooh, okay. That changes some things.
There are most of the sailors are within a move. Right, they're close to the ship. They're not. They just don't know how to swim.
I'm gonna swim up to them and kind of like, swim against them so that they can easily grab a hold of me.
Okay.
And start trying to pull them back. I got a 60-foot swim speed in my sea otter full.
Okay. Yeah, they grab onto you. Well, the first one does. And I'll make checks for those. They are still affected by the recklessness, however. Yeah, the first one's fine. He gets hold of you, and if you want to, that's like if you want to take a slow turn, like all you do is rescue a sailor, then that can be like what Clive does.
Okay, that's what I'll do then.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. And the furthest sailor goes under, and something clearly like pulls them under. You've maybe seen people who can't swim before and what it looks like. The difference between like a flailing, sinking kind of going under and someone yanking your legs. And whereas so what is your passive perception for yours?
It's not bad unless it is. Sorry, it's 12.
It's what?
It's 12.
It's 12. You think you see something pass by with you, or at least like the murk is disturbed off to your right, which would be between like you and the ship. But you don't see anything other than just the disturbance of the murk. And that's my turn. So Calliope's still moving. Top of the second. Anybody got a fast?
Yeah, I'm hunting for people that fell over, trying to collect them.
Don't disturb my merc.
They're easily found. The remaining one is still thrashing and like within a move of you if you wanted.
All right, swimming over. Grab on.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, he's fine. Grabs hold, and so let's do this. Come on, we got this. And then. Okay, so it was that fast. Just
yep.
And how about Calliope?
The
rest of the crew is helping the guy get back up in the ship. So you're at the ship.
Yeah.
You look back, you can see Weirus, and he's got one of the others, and you don't see the third.
I don't see the third.
Yeah.
I wish I had. Okay, I'm gonna take a slow check.
Okay.
Do I go yet?
So am I. So you go first.
Okay. So I'm gonna swim off towards where the guy went down. But I'm gonna yank out my my arcane focus, my crystal, my tiny little otter hand. That's not that small. And just in case, I am going to be on the lookout. As I move closer, do I see anything?
So are you moving across the surface and then down, or down and across the bottom? Because the bottom's only like anywhere from 16 to 20 feet away. Roll a d4.
Right. Yeah.
It's not that far away.
I'm gonna go low then, because if he's been dragged down, then.
Okay. In that case, you see what looks to be a person-sized aquatic isopod. It's got like a partially transparent segmented body, and like around the vaguely kind of disc shape of it, it's just got like a rim of flippers. Underneath it, it's got like a mass of grasping tentacles that it's got this trollkin wrapped up in, and then it's got a longer one, and it's attached to its chest. And so he's just kind of like completely wrapped up, and it's slowly just sinking to the bottom with this Trollkin.
Okay, good. Then as my action, I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness. Although we can note here, Calliope does not normally cast Ray of Sickness, but
Yeah.
when she goes to cast her,
What do you try? Are you like trying to cast something else and then end up casting Ray of Sickness?
absolutely, yeah, like a huge wild magic surge. She tries to cast Chaos Bolt.
Okay.
Instead, cast Ray of Sickness. So that's crazy. Let's see. Let's see. What? Sorry, I need to find
This
my
is how I die. A random Josh spell.
Yeah. I got a 14 to hit.
We'll use those necromancy spells for max press.
I got a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Okay.
14 is there.
Okay. And then you also need to make a Constitution save for secondary effect. You're gonna get hit with some poison.
I got a 20 on my.
Hey, woo! Okay, so you don't have the poison condition, but you do take 5 poison damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll for the spell. Actually, flaring with wild magic? No.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right.
And then she says, "What the heck?"
Yeah. So it hits, and it looks. It doesn't have a face or any features. So it looks like it affected it partially.
Okay.
And this is when the other one, where she kind of feel it either confuse or something. It tries to wrap one of its tentacles around one of you, and so let's see who it gets. In this case, it is going after the crewman, and it got I got a 25 to hit, and so it begins like a tug of war with the crewman that stuck her arm around his leg and starts trying to.
As soon as Weirs gets a fast action, I'm gonna try to divine smite that tentacle and sever it.
Yeah, the crewman takes some damage. You can see that that at the end of that longer tentacle is like a lamprey mouth, and it has attached itself to its the crewman's hip. Took some damage, but it is now top of round 3 on fast actions.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little snippety snip. I'm going to attack the tentacle. It helps if I look in here. Helps if I click on the right thing. There we go. Critical hit.
Oh, hey!
With a divine smite in there as well. So
yeah, that guy's dead.
And a divine favor. So
yes, so
that's going to be 2. And this is essentially I'm using it as a versatile weapon. So 2d10 plus 4d8 plus 2d4 plus my modifier. 49 points of damage. Jeez, I'm taking a photo of
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That freaking pally damage, man.
That's why I picked it. It's like, I was like,
I love paladins.
This is all when I was like, like, not every character has to be a combatant, because Lindy and I are playing a barbarian and a paladin.
And throw a fighter on top of it. Like, it's like...
Yeah. We kind of have all the bruises.
All right, so yeah, you certainly sever this thing, and it doesn't have a mouth. Well, it did. Whereas you chop into it, and you're not sure where the rest of it went, but the water's quickly stained dark red from this. They're more like purple even from this thing. Some of the crewmen on the deck, some of those who were amphibious, jump into the water as well, including Slagfunk, and others begin to just fire whatever projectiles they have in an attempt to do something. Josh, you doing it fast or slow?
I'm gonna go ahead and do a fast.
All right.
Yeah. We're gonna grimacing. She tries to cast Chaos Bolt again and again. It is a ray of sickness. Oh, jeez.
What do you got?
I think that one super missed. Yeah. I did roll a 1.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
What do you got?
So okay. So that means I roll on the table.
That means you if you roll the 1 for your thing, that does mean you roll on the wild search table. Yeah.
We're gonna roll on that wild search table then.
You want me to roll it?
You can if you wish. Yeah.
No. Where are we at here, Mister? Multi-class Calliope into that wild magic barbarian.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. It looks so good. Oh.
I have a love-hate, so I like the idea. Just I think it needs to pass.
Yeah, it's rough. Like that whole necrotic damage thing.
Calliope's fur turns a shade of vibrant blue and cannot be removed by dispel magic. Find out means to get rid of it.
All right.
Or sucks. Maybe sucks the color out of the water.
It stains her.
Yeah.
Put her in dye. Yeah.
All right.
Damn it.
Okay, so your second sickness brave sickness miss.
Yeah.
So one of my guys can't go, and the other one is now that it's so it takes the feeding arm. Calliope takes its feeding arm off the trollkin, but still has him grasped in the shorter grasping tentacles, and makes its way towards you with its grasping arm kind of coiled like a snake's striking head, and
Gross.
makes an attempt to attack Calliope. And you see behind it the floating corpse of the second one that has a giant radiant scourge.
Oh, right.
It's still boiling. I don't think so. I don't think a 7 hits Calliope.
Nah.
It attempts to attack, but is sluggish from all the blood that it is consumed. You can't tell if the crewman it has is what their condition is.
Okay.
That's the end of the round, and top of the next. Fast.
Okay.
Do I see something I can stab with my sword?
Yeah, the murk is cleared enough that visibility is extended to at least 20 feet, and you guys are. It's still gritty. You can see everything that's going on.
All right. Okay. Go on. You're first.
If I'm close enough to attack, I'm going to take another attack. If I'm not close enough to attack, I'm going to use my swim speed to start making it back to the boat and be calling out to Chubby on deck. It's, hey, you got to start pulling me up. We got to get this guy out
So, with being reeled in, we'll say that doesn't cost you anything per action, right? If Merryweather and Brutus are yanking and pulling you in, but you they're having a fight down at the bottom, 20 feet below you, and it's I don't know, 15 feet to the thing. You could probably make it with a slow turn to get the crewman and then swim down and attack.
All right, yeah, we're gonna slow turn it.
Okay. I don't have any fast turns.
Yeah.
Attack Calliope again.
Oh wait, can I go as a fast?
Yeah.
I forgot to call it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my. You can do that. The Tides of Chaos. You can do that before you know. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try one more time to hit this thing. Just burning through these spells.
It's all right.
She's trying to make it work. She's snapping her fingers and seeing if it's gonna work. It's not working. Yes, I am gonna use Tides of Chaos. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's better. 18 to hit.
All right.
Give me a con save.
18 hits. 10.
Okay, that fails. Take 5 poison, and you have the poison condition for a period until the end of your next turn.
Okay. All right, poison until the next turn, so that's disadvantage. It makes its attack at disadvantage.
Do I get to do the attack first, or does it?
This is fast turn because
Okay.
it's only
Yeah.
attack.
Cool.
But that is a 9 to hit. Which I do not believe it's Calliope. Slow turns.
Yeah.
On my slow turn, I got a 22 to hit with my longsword.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And for damage, I'm pumping my final divine smite into it. I get a 19 for damage.
19. All right. Oof. Okay. And this is the top of a new round. It is
And after
trying.
I hit, I'm pulling my shield out too, just in case it starts coming after me.
Okay. It does not, and it drops the crewman and is attempting to flee, which means you guys can get attacks of opportunity on it if you like.
Sorry, evil laugh.
I'm gonna Ricky Ticky Tabby this shit.
Just
I'm gonna try to fight it.
19
before you make
to
those
hit.
attacks,
Yes.
make a DC 13 Constitution save as a part of its fleeing. The fins alongside of it begin to glow with a bioluminescence, and it emits a pulsing flash of
I
light.
got a 14.
You're not blinded.
Luckily I got that con save for sorcerer. I got a 15.
You're not blinded. All right,
Okay.
make your attacks roll.
All right, 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Oh god. Oh no. That's like a 6. Yeah.
Wow, 16.
Like a crazy
Points.
person would just bite at it.
Continuous slaughter.
I did 8 points of damage.
There you go. Wounded, it still lives, but is on its last legs and like I said, is fleeing into the just to get out of here.
How fast is it swimming? I think I might be able to catch this thing.
Thing's only, at best, it's got a 60-foot swim speed. That's what just doesn't even move.
I'd have to do a little trickery. It's like, good thing I took that feat to bonus punch it. It's like, undercut it. This is like a Popeye sailor battle at this point.
Yeah, it books it, right? Like it just gets out of there. It's also trailing, its own ichor, and the crewman is, settling into the silt at the bottom. So,
yeah.
if you want.
Final
Grab
Fantasy
him.
victory music plays.
We're gonna grab that dude though.
Okay.
And bring him to the surface.
All right.
He's
Are you
still
gonna
Sounds
fall
it.
in love
He's-
with this dude? Is Calliope gonna like aerial over him?
right?
Yeah, this guy's like one failed death save away from dying. Like this guy's roughed up, like clearly drained of blood, has water in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get him to medic. I'm gonna try to push him up. I'm gonna need help with this, Weirs.
I'm gonna pump all my lay on hands into him. 15
Nice.
points.
Sweet.
That heals him up.
Grace-
That heals him up. That heals up the wound, but he still has an ashen kind of just weakness to him. It'll take him a while to just get his blood back. But he is out of danger of just like immediate death.
Oof. All right.
Storm passed. The predators that followed in its wake dealt with. And anything you guys do in the immediate aftermath?
Well, I mean, no, I didn't get hit. I thought I got hit. That's last time. Time before last. Never mind.
I take a knee and I give thanks to my ancestors. I give thanks to the brave squires that receive those blessings, and then I give a knowing glance to the captain. I left some notes last session.
Oh, you're talking about your letters.
The letters.
Well, there's my letters,
There's a
but
letter.
to bring Josh up to speed, Weirus is cursed, and I am now obsessed with the greatest treasure is other people's secrets that they don't want me to know. So, I manipulated Larimar while they were suffering from a traumatic experience. Manipulated the captain. Then went into her private quarters and rooted through all of her stuff, including her secret compartments and private sundries. And then left some taunts remaining. Cursed. I think it's important that you know that as players, even though it's kind of not necessarily character knowledge, just and I kind of explained to the other characters, I will do this to every NPC I meet before I do it to you guys, but eventually I'll run out of NPCs and I'll start doing that.
Yeah, no, that can be fun.
So the moral wound left by the Leviathan.
The moral wound? I like that.
Moral wound.
That'll teach me to stand toe-to-toe with Kraken.
Well, luckily Calliope has no secrets.
That's true. Calliope doesn't really.
None whatsoever.
No, she's just like a very happy young woman otter person.
That's very true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So no secrets, Calliope. Yeah, Bellet looks, relieved that it wasn't worse, but also just kind of generally annoyed that that it happened. She seems agitated today, but not out of sorts or like losing her temper or anything. She's just kind of irritated.
Yeah.
But the ship survived relatively unscathed. Quick repair on the sails, and none of the crewmen were seriously injured. So that's pretty good outcome for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
strong seaman.
Yes, very much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
yeah. Otherwise, we'll just there'll be another couple of days. There's another couple of days of just like not much going on. The weather mostly remains the same. You're starting to. The course is beginning to alter more southern, towards more southern route than the southeasterly that you've been going, and according to at least those people familiar with the sea around here, you're about to hit a massive kelp forest that will necessitate the use of the sails, as the oars will undoubtedly get stuck and tangled up in all of that mass. You guys are now 15 days into the voyage. Let's see. Give me just a second. Something up real quick. One question I did ask last week, Josh, that maybe it would be it's useful to know for Calliope is like, what is it? Is there something? What is it that Calliope does that just gets on everybody's last nerve?
Oh, I mean, there's probably several things depending on who they are. I mean, if there's a weakness, there's that. It's if someone had a pure puritanical streak, they would be aghast at her lack of clothing and her socializing. If people like peace and quiet, they probably don't want her coming around asking questions or
highly conservative techno waters.
Right?
Grumble.
Shut up and put on some clothes.
Yeah, they just don't trust the magic.
So,
or they think it's weird that you turn into an elf person, like just.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah, because to them, and also, I mean, to her, she's not her first technically.
Sure. They're just like you got all you need as an otter.
Mm-hmm. And
but Ottermus Prime definitely is feeling this exotic outlander, extraplanar otter on the crew, and also feels guilty about taking your skin. But he spends as much time with you as Calliope will allow. Sort of same with Valeris, where he's kind of like he finds reasons to be around Weirus, and doesn't put up any complaint or anything like that. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Calliope would not turn down company, which is period. So.
All right, then Artemis Prime is literally almost everywhere that Calliope is. Like,
Well,
I hope he holds her hand and it's just like a normal thing.
like the sea otter thing,
like
the
a
otter
little kid thing. Yes, just a little. There's a little otter handhold.
Yeah, so they float. Yeah, exactly. Maybe she might let him do that. Yeah, or better.
No harm in it.
No harm.
All right.
Although she still got that blue fur, right?
Yes, she still has the blue fur.
Okay.
Yeah, and the crew people who fell overboard, they're not. I mean, like the next day, they don't have it's not like they're like horrible mutations and everything like that, but they're clearly like ill and feel sick. They just sort of have a depressed affect for a day or two, and the rest of the crew kind of like treat them as like they got cooties, right? Like
people who fell in.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of wild speculation amongst the drylanders aboard the ship as to what will happen to them. Several crewmen have already lost bets as to when they would begin growing gills or fins, that kind of thing. It seems to be that they think being immersed in the waters of the bay is a terrifying thing. Like they're here sailing this poison sea for it's the best hope they got. And they think it's more like mutating solution or something.
This is like taking a job on a crabbing ship in Alaska.
Yeah, this is like taking a job on a crabbing ship in Alaska. If the waters were irradiated, it'd be like taking a crabbing ship off the waters of Fukushima.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's about the scale that it works on. Like it's not an instant thing; it's over a lifetime thing.
Fascinating.
That's who they are. And then there's a bunch of people who are totally be like that, except there's some people who can breathe underwater and aren't affected by the radiation.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to fall on that, but
you can tell what's going on with your magic is not normal.
Yeah. Even for wild magic.
Sure. Couple days pass. It's the crew are looked after, everybody kind of recovers and everything. And it's close to evening one night. You've just begun to see more and more outlying patches, kelp beds along the bottom of the ocean floor. They haven't quite gotten to the sort of volume to make it to the surface. But something rather large and ichthyoid is alongside the ship, sort of swimming silently for a while without ever really making its presence known. It doesn't come up for air. It just occasionally you see a dorsal fin sort of breach the surface. It's big, not quite the size of the ship, but big. At least that's their initial report from the watch. I guess this would be mostly to Weirus. Let's say this is whoever was on watch at that time reporting to Weirus.
Okay.
Calliope
so
has thoughts. Or Josh has thoughts.
Josh is trying to remember, dolphin? When you say, ichthyoid.
Fish-like.
Okay, all right. I see what you mean. Maybe it's just a friendly bass or giant carp or something. Okay, yeah, Calliope's going to try to talk to it.
I was going to say, Weirs can try to talk to it as well.
You want to start a dialogue with this thing?
I would like Calliope to lead the way. You're a little cuter. It might be more into you.
It's true.
Give off those pheromones.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I'm
when you're
food
Fae,
in the sea. I'm food.
when you're Fae, it's cross species, I guess. Although if this is not mammalian, all she will say is gibberish at it.
Yeah, it's not mammalian.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
He tries.
for Weirus it doesn't matter, so Weirus will talk to it.
Okay.
Oh, you gloating?
So, yes. That's why I call you Big Papa. And I'm like complimenting this big old fish. You're a dummy thick fish boy. Come on.
Yeah, it's got a sort of pink gray skin, and it's sort of misshapen in its appearance. And as you begin speaking to it, the water kind of churns and roils, and you can see it kind of turn and look at you, like the way like a beluga whale would or like a orca or something in a water park, kind of turn on its side in order to see you. And it does, and you notice that as it kind of like lifts its front portion out of the water, it's got this long, what looks like thick bony protrusion coming out of the top of its head, and then this startlingly humanoid face with pretty big sort of like serrated fang things. And it
Which
looks
celebrity
at you.
does it look like?
It
Or
looks
Twitch
the
streamer?
most kind of like
Jonathan Pruitt.
having someone with just like really sort of too much flesh on their face.
Mm.
Oh,
It's the
You
Steve
know,
Buscemi fish.
yeah, just kind of like a. And if this were like a movie, trailer thing, this would be where it stops and there's like a graphic that goes over, because I think I've given all my leviathans specific names, and this is the abominable goblin fish.
ooh.
And as it sort of swims alongside and begins to converse with Weir's, like, well, hello there, little Guppy. I noticed your a lot of tasty morsels on that ship.
Well, yes, but not the tastiest morsels.
Well,
There's tastier morsels. Deeper.
how do you know that I haven't? What my tastes are like?
This guy there.
Because I understand you. You know, my father was a lot like you.
Interesting.
Handsome, proud, wise, dashing intellect. Oh, miraculous to behold. Invincible in the sea itself.
That's all true, but that doesn't fill my belly. I think that you should throw over your weakest. You don't need them. Just let me have it.
Okay.
Come on.
So, gosh, if only Gildan was here, he could make a tofu replica of someone that we'd throw over. So,
If only.
yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm going to take some of my old clothes. I'm going to stuff them full of, like, chum and fish and stuff like that in an old helmet. I'm going to stick an old helmet on top. And be like, all right, you can have old Gus. And I throw old Gus over, and it's just my clothes full of chum and fish that I've, like, put together. I imagine, like, Myrtle helped stitch it. Like, Myrtle and Ophelia helped do that. And it's just like, I throw it over.
Okay. All right. Let's see. It's false. It's sort of like it goes after it. You see briefly it sort of like form darts along. I mean, dart is kind of a strong word. It moves slightly faster than its size should suggest.
It goes just like me going to the buffet. It's like, oh, they brought out fresh fried scallops.
Right, but don't ask it to make a lot of maneuvers.
Yeah.
But it's sort of swimming along the bottom towards things. It seems to be like going to wait for it. So it's momentarily distracted and incommunicado. Where's Calliope? Are you? I mean, because this probably took a while to throw this thing. Couple minutes at least.
Calliope's been watching with extreme curiosity, especially trying to parse together like how he could talk to the fish. Maybe in her head she's thinking like, okay, maybe I can talk to fish now. I can do things that I couldn't a week ago. Maybe I can talk to fish now. But she can't.
No.
Okay, so we've thrown Gus, poor Gus, we've thrown him overboard.
Yeah, he's just delicious.
Gus is delicious. He always was. However, are we going to get away from this thing? Can we even get away from this
I'm
thing?
not worried about that. I just gotta keep feeding it off one member of the crew every day until it leaves us alone. You're on the list, Clive. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I've seen those videos and I don't want to see this thing eat an otter.
I don't want to fight this thing. I've already gotten cursed. I have a moral wound. Ooh, I want to learn its secrets.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
That's how you approach it. You should start asking good questions as you feed it.
It comes back.
All right, it's back.
That was funny. Oh, you just got a rag of your Gus.
Oh no!
Like a shark will have like just a whole trail of hanging out of its mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see now it's got like these horrible little spindly armed lamprey imps kind of like crawling all on the underside of it. It's quite grotesque. That was a funny trick. So you like playing tricks then? All right. Listen, you're not going to throw one of those scrawny little snacks overboard. Then why don't you come in here and face me like a man? It's like about 40 feet away off the ship. You can just see it like it's communicating telepathically.
Yeah, I will give you more food. I will face you head to head if you can answer my riddle.
What's riddles? All right, okay.
What goes on 4s in the morning, on 2s in the afternoon, and on 3s at night?
There's 4, 2, 3. That's clearly some sort of rapidly evolving chrysalis insectoid creature. Like it's got a 24-hour life cycle.
Fortunately, or unfortunately, you're incorrect, but you can only try once every 500 years. That's the rules.
That's a stupid game.
Yeah, I know. It's not an intelligent game.
Give me another one.
Oh, no.
Give me another one. Ram your ship.
Alive without a breath, as cold as death. Never thirsty, ever drinking. All in mail, never clinking.
That's a fish. Come on, give me a good one.
Ah! My Hobbit riddles. All right.
This is not a
What
gentleman.
have I got in my pocket? It's like, where is...
What is this? I don't know. Where's it got in his pockets? Grant's about to go.
I do have.
I could throw a Mensa puzzle at you.
No thing. It's only because you're using the Hobbit ones that I knew.
I cover cities and destroy mountains. I make men blind, yet help them see.
Ooh.
I
Cover
feel like I've heard that one too.
Roy Mountains. Thank you. Something in the blind man see. Abby. It's not. Jeez. It's not. I would guess. My gut is say light, but I don't think it's light.
No, that would be incorrect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get eaten by this abominable goblin thing.
What is it?
It's sand.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. How does it make blind people? Oh, because the glasses. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Yeah. You just. Your our spectacles.
Hey.
All right. I'm gonna ram you. And
No.
it's sort of coming towards you. It's like trying to cap the team, right?
Yeah. I can ask you. What if I fed your soul?
What's that? Soul.
I'm gonna pull out my instrument. I'm gonna play him the goblin song. I'm gonna play him Gildan's song, which is a song that I learned out here in this part of the world.
Okay. All right. I'll listen to this song.
I'm gonna let it slide.
Oh gosh, I need to write Gildan's song. So just allow me to tune my instrument.
And by now, like a lot of the crew have come out, standing on deck, and sort of like watching this exchange. You can. It seems like others are also having a conversation with it, because the longer it kind of is there, you can see that others are kind of reacting. A lot of crew members seem nervous, anxious. A lot of them are like looking around shiftily, and some of them are like trickling off and trying to get away. Like this, maybe just more for Calliope. Like maybe you were up top, right? You're on your perch.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you notice that a few of them are trickling away from it, but just there's a weird vibe on deck.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm starting to. Okay, by all means, Calliope, don't make me sing Gildan's song. If I have to, I will.
That guy on the far left, can I have him? That one over there.
No, he's expecting.
Okay. All right. Hey guys. Okay, I've got a. No, that's not gonna work. Okay,
What?
don't we have skeletons on crew?
Yeah, there's like 40 of them.
His skeletons won't tide him over.
They're not, and they're also non-combatants. They don't really.
All right. All right.
Well, I wouldn't assume the things that he eats are combatants. They're food.
Well, I mean, like I didn't know if you meant like to overwhelm them with skeletons or like feed them.
No. I was thinking of casting distort value on the skeleton to make it appear edible, but I don't think that works.
You could suck the marrow out of the bones. Yeah. I'm hitting in the first verse where it's just like Gilded and Goblin ain't nothing to F with. Gilded and Goblin ain't nothing. There's no place to hide as I step inside the room. Dr. Doom, prepare for the boom. Bam, oh man, I slam jam, now scream like Tarzan. And I just like do the entire Wu-Tang Clan first album. And that's Gildan's song.
Gildan's song. That's
nice.
Yeah. I don't know. If he doesn't like music...
really likes it. It's great.
Cool.
That's great.
Because I don't really have much I can do in... Well, here's the thing. He can, let me double check this, but,
So I would say that this could using this with something like the decoy that y'all threw out would probably fool him for a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it had I don't know. Do y'all have any actual meat?
Here's what I want to do.
Actually, I think y'all
Where
do.
is? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So we have some meat. We talked about how we had barrels of fish and stuff, but
Yeah, there was a whale blubber and stuff from the carcass last time.
Yeah, but here's what I think. We'll see if it kills me.
All right.
Or Valeris. I'm going to ask our people who's brave enough and has faith in me and is willing to come with me into the depths. We have to teach them a lesson.
The Tritons are, Valeris and the Ganai, the planar Ganassi. They're like, yeah, we will stand with you.
Okay, just one. And understand, you must be brave, and you must raise no arm against him, and you must have faith that my ancestors will protect you.
There's like tape, small trick, and armor, and it's like
we're coming down, and we leave our weapons. It's like we must go down into the belly of the whale, essentially. And you're going to have to allow yourself to be tasted. You're going to have to allow the abominable goblin fish, to taste you. Because here's my plan, essentially, Jim. As soon as that thing bites or touches or sniffs, does the slightest bit of damage, any damage at all, I'm hoping for a bite. I'm going to rebuke the violent to send all the damage back into it. I'm going to teach it a lesson.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Well,
Whereas and Valeris are making their way into the water, and what about Calliope?
In the meantime, Calliope's going to make that beautiful meat boy that they can throw over the rails.
No!
I'd assume that
Right.
she's working with
Myrtle and
okay. Myrtle and Ophelia. I'm going to use distort value, which will make it appear like fresher,
yes,
clean,
uh-huh.
Not rotty.
Yeah.
And it's about all I can do with it. I can do mending to make it look like the clothes fit better.
Okay.
So while they're being distracted, I'm going to use those two spells
Uh-huh.
to try to get this going.
Okay. All right. So,
So we might have a decoy in case.
If it
Yeah.
bites the decoy, that I can rebuke it, even if it bites
Yeah.
the decoy.
and
Oh yeah. Okay.
and help. Okay, or you could also worse, but you're not doing that. All right, so the decoy is ready. It takes some time to both create the thing, and the doc doesn't like you taking one of the skeletons. It's fine. Just get another one.
Oh, by the way, Jim, I'm also proficient in disguise, so I can make it look pretty good.
Okay, go ahead and go bring a roll for that. Assume you have assistance.
Nice.
As there on that. So,
Nice. Yeah, 20.
okay, 20 to throw out decoy. And all right. 20. So Valeris and Wirris are in the water, and from above you're in the water for just a little bit, maybe less than a minute, and you can hear what sounds like fighting coming from on deck. There's some kind of brawl that started. Same for Calliope.
What's happened?
Just the crew has started fighting each other. They
gone insane?
One of them was like tried to take something of the others, or like there's a dagger or a thing that another wanted. They just started to get very like belligerent. Those that are still out on deck. And
Weird.
Have we thrown Meat Boy over?
I think we probably should.
If you throw him, as soon as he bites Meat Boy, I can rebuke the violent. Or he'll bite Valeris and I'll rebuke the violent. If he bites Meat Boy, then Valeris and I will both get attacks on him. If he bites Valeris might die.
That's fair.
But it'll be in my arms. It'll be very romantic.
Easily. Yeah. So you get in the water with this thing, and it's big, right? Like it's just like a gross antediluvian fish. And just like and clearly like some kind of weird bottom feeder, and it never gets close enough to you to like make an attack. It always stays at least about 20 feet away or so, but it sort of like does a false, sort of like swims really fast to you, and then curves off at the last like you're gonna swim in the water with me, will you? I'll show you. All right, which one am I going to eat first? And he kind of like swims
We're
around.
Throwing the food over. You're Goblin Boy. We just want to see the satisfaction. All right, are you throwing Meat Boy over, Calliope?
Yeah. The three of us. I don't know if it's animated at all.
With the bones sticking out, it just has like
a
meat
floppy.
Yeah.
They dressed it up like butcher's store.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it gets in the water and flails a little bit.
Stick a Donald Duck hat on him.
Yeah. Or one of those, like the hats with the ear things, so you can't see the side of the head. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So it sort of like swims over, and the movement of it smells and looks like it's not it's like got meat on it. And sure enough, it just like a giant ass fish just swims by and.
Can it make a wisdom saving throw?
Nibbles it up.
DC 13.
13. It cannot. No.
How much damage is its bite attack?
No. The bite attack is only going to be 19 damage, rolled kind of low.
So it'll take 19, and then what I want to do is if I'm within range, I want to go up and I want to divine smite him and just crack him.
As it takes damage, it sort of like screams, "Ah!" And you go to hit it, and it's not where you think it is, and your attack just like whiffs through water, and it's like 10 feet that way and about this big. And
gosh darn it!
And he's got like a has been hurt of some kind from the rebuke violence, and unless you guys try to apprehend it, it's going to try to make its way out. It's not a particularly fast swimmer, 25 move speed.
I'm very fast.
Yeah,
Calliope just yells at it. You bully!
I'm going into it, and I want to crack this thing.
Oh, get away from me! What are you doing? Stop!
Teaching you
And
a lesson.
get out! Get away from me! I didn't do anything to you. I was just having some fun. And
Yeah, I'm
it's
having
trying-
some fun too. This is really fun.
right. Yeah, if you're trying to like pursue it and attack. Then,
No, here's what I can't.
oh yeah, you don't
I
know.
can't.
You don't know.
Here's why I'm not. Did you call me a wimp?
No, I said that's true.
Yeah, I was like, because don't do that. I'm like, I'll break my oath. I'll change alignments. I'll be cursed and
Oath
get
breaker,
negative
here we
modifiers
go.
on everything. I play guacamole. I don't need positive stats. It's like, no, it's one of those things. If it's, I want it to give us its word that it will leave us alone.
Okay, so you're swimming after it.
If
Polaris is
it
with you.
promises it'll leave us alone, we'll let it go. If
Yeah,
it
yeah,
can't make
yeah.
that promise, I will kill it.
I promise, I swear. Wherever you like, I'll swear I'm a spawning ground.
All right. It may you spawned well this season. And I go back up with Valeris. It's like, Valeris, our work here is done. Abominable goblin fish. Gosh darn it. What tomfoolery is this?
So, like, as he leaves, the brawl on deck begins to die down. There's a lot of just confusion, and almost all of them that participated said that they were, they're like, well, I was talking, like, I don't know what to say. It was in my head. Like, it was just telling me, it's like, I deserve that knife. What am I supposed to do? Like,
I slap them when they say that across the face with my gauntleted hand.
Oh my god.
what like, just
You don't deserve that knife. You deserve that. There will be no thieving on this vessel. You're a disciplined crew. I put my life on the line for you guys almost every day. If I have next time you take that knife, it will not be my gauntlet. It will be my sword, and your head will be removed from your shoulders.
Oof.
Woo.
Man, that was wow.
Mm-hmm.
Crew member number 4. I have a name. It's like that made an impression. Yes, sir. No, I'm not gonna do that again. It's not like a Hamask.
I was raised a Navy brat, guys.
I could tell. You didn't pull that out of nowhere.
Yes.
Calliope's very impressed, by the way.
All right. Anything more from?
We're gonna fish Gus Jr. out of the waves and put him back in the row.
Okay.
But we're gonna keep him dressed up.
Just in case.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the meat out of him, but we might as well name him.
All right.
Take his meat and put him back.
Yeah.
I fixed those trousers myself. Leave those on him.
Right. So it's within this next day that you guys will reach the edge of the kelp forest, and pretty much the skeletons all shift a seat over. The oars are put up, and there's extra room on the lower deck for a while. And the sails are mostly used to navigate this thing. According to Bellet, you're making your way towards a port that is not too far away, sort of sitting just inside the border of this kelp forest known as Golenville. And most of the crew on board seem pretty excited to go. They kind of talk about this place like it's pretty lit. It's like they're, it's like, wow, we can't believe we're going to the village, which is sort of how they refer to it. The Colants and others on board, they're able to basically tell you that it's a abode of one of the remaining living archmages that was responsible for many of the sea folk and Pisanoids around here. Golen the Virile is the archmage's name, and this is kind of a village that he sponsors.
Is he a safe man?
Well, I mean, you're talking to the aquatic hobgoblins.
Yes.
Slagfunks is sort of the more more knowledgeable of them, I guess. He's like, well, safe enough, I guess. Why? I mean, I have never met him, but you don't break his laws or whatever per se.
What if we can get an audience?
I mean, you could try. Usually he's around. Like, you can't miss him. He's, usually really big. So just look for like maybe the biggest person.
Big. Okay. Big.
First time meeting an archmage?
Well, I mean, no, actually, but I didn't think they'd be like the bigger the mage, the more powerful they are.
Yeah, he's some kind of, I don't know how it works, but he's some kind of, I don't know, he can, well, and Slagfunk seems like, for one of the maybe few times you've met him, embarrassed or shy. Golenville, he helps you out if you need that kind of thing. Special problems, like,
Okay.
You have trouble during spawning season, Golenville.
Oh, well, okay. So he's that kind of big. All right.
Oh, he's generous. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That kind of big then. Okay.
Well, and also, well, you'll see.
Okay. He's big all around.
Yeah.
Then yeah, we should meet him.
And it'll be it's almost a full day of sailing, getting to Golenville. And as the first sun begins to set, you sort of like see it on the horizon as this pillar of something rising out of the ocean. And the closer you get to it, you can see that it's these massive kelp fronds that stretch out of the water up into the air with these sort of like gas-filled bladders that strain with their lighter-than-air gases. And a sort of sargassum mats that have formed around it, this like dense seaweed that floats on top of the water that apparently it's able to like dock things on the thickness. And you've been sailing all day through this kelp forest, which has pretty much killed your visibility of the bottom. As you sail through, it's just this mass of floating vegetation on top of the water that you're constantly having to like pick off the side of the ship and get out of the rudder and the like. So it's been kind of an ordeal, slower going than it has been before. And as you make your way towards Golenville to resupply, repair, and kind of lay low for a couple of days, because you are ahead of schedule, you just sort of see that there are other ships docked here. It looks as though there are a great number of individuals milling about the wharf that they have established off of Rocky Outcropping. It just looks like a busy port. It's just that instead of timber and stone, it is levitating kelp and a giant coral spire that rises up out of the ocean. Living coral, though, it's not died for lack.
Oh, good.
It's almost like for this like column of space, the ocean has extended upward, but there's no water. It's kind of what it looks like, right?
It's pretty neat.
At the top of it is basically what looks like the Playboy Mansion.
Basically.
It's sort of a garish, sort of gaudy, just tacky, sort of like clearly foreign architectural style, but it's yeah.
I assume that's where the Archmage lives.
PG sex ogre. That is who Golan is. And you can see this because there is a giant projected image of him in the harbor, welcoming all to his abode. Sort of like, it's got a the image at least is ultra masculine. Just this sort of.
So Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, just virile in a very intense and manly way. It's kind of like a face forward, jaw forward, very much like a person of action. Heroically nude, and
there's no other way.
Welcoming all safe harbor here, and there is a moratorium on mayhem and violence, on pain of execution and torture. and it just sort of repeats this list of there's really only a few rules. Don't cause a bunch of mayhem or hurt anybody. Deal fairly with each other. Things like that.
Or he tortures you.
Or yes, all of them have the same punishment. It's specifically death and gratuitous torture.
I respect that. They know what they like.
But as you are sort of pulling in and finding space in the wharf, a gaggle of diminutive and sort of noisy folk come by, and they look for all the world like miniature versions of the projected image that you have just seen. They're not like identical, but they all resemble each other. Imagine a cross between a halfling dwarf and a lizard folk. That's kind of what they represent. They're about the size of halflings, small, sort of nimble.
Are they
helping you? They're like helping you guys with the ropes and their dock hands, right? They're Steve Doors.
They're not heroically naked, right?
No, they're wearing harnesses.
Okay.
They're mostly covered. They're covered in the sense that they're not exposed, but they're not wearing a lot of clothes. Most people around here don't wear a lot of clothes.
I mean, yeah, no, the Calliope doesn't. It just it'd be really creepy if it was the exact same thing, but
it's not quite the exact same thing.
But it's close.
Proportions suggest that it might be.
Okay.
So that's what they're doing, and you see them all over the place. There's dozens of them helping ships and unloading and loading, all that kind of stuff. Looks like there's a mix of drylanders, amphibious folk, and aquatics here. You can see like merfolk swimming around.
Do we? Does she see any drylanders that like she'd recognize automatically what the species and or lineage is?
Not particularly. None of the like you're talking like humans, elves, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean she's used to. She comes from a non-land between two rivers world.
Yeah. No, there's it's the same sort of like trollkin, wastelander, kind of like orc goblins and things like that. Just
That's fair. Yeah.
A motley crew of them, and the harbor kind of extends into the kelp forest. It's a big sort of thing. But basically, there are 4 parts to this place. There is the village, which is where the Empress of the Waves is docked. There is the manse itself, of which a natural stairway leads up to it. There is the clinic, which is accessible only via undersea. And so you got to find some way to breathe underwater to get there. And then there is a nearby sea folk settlement that is...
okay. So the village is above water.
The village is above water, but is designed and meant to be accessible by as many as possible, so that really the surface is the busiest place, right? Like that's where most of the stuff goes on. You can either go underwater for the clinic in the Seafolk Village, or climb up the coral steps for the mints.
Calliope will attempt to go to the clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just head down there.
I think so.
Okay.
How
about Weirs?
Yeah. Why not? You're doing Weirs.
I want to follow Calliope's lead on this. Make sure she doesn't get herself into any trouble.
Yeah. Is Artemis Prime going with you?
Holding her hand the whole way.
No.
I help you across the gap, my lady.
He seems crestfallen.
No. Artemis, dear, go help the Kraken babies. Go help
baby mother.
Yeah, go help babysit.
All right. He takes it well. He's not like he doesn't sulk. He's like, I get it. All right, okay, yeah. I'll catch up with you later. Have fun. Do what you got to do.
As he's
boys' night out.
It's one of the. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say as he goes by, I'm like, you're gonna let Calliope leave dressed like that? She's like not wearing anything. Just
a blue fur.
There's a freaking net.
Yeah.
Net. And it functions.
Wearing a bracelet today. No.
The
So
bracelet was standard attire back in her fake court.
sure. So basically, all you have to do is jump in the water, and you can see that this whole place basically rests on a giant coral mount that's formed around something. Clearly not naturally formed or anything. This is an obvious shaped and magicked up kind of arrangement. And it's at the bottom of this that you see this village amongst the kelp fronds, and they've sort of like twisted them, all matted them up. They've created structures out of the sort of the roots and bottoms of these plants. They've taken old ones and woven them into baskets that are hanging. Make use of the air bladders to kind of create this city of what looks like spherical pods of vegetation that are all kind of clumped up, and you can kind of swim in and out of it in multiple ways. There's way more than one entrance.
Cool.
That is the village, and then further down at the very base is this glass domed it's got like elaborate gardens. You can see like terrestrial vegetation on the inside, as well as like pools for for aquatics if you'd like to continue to be submerged. There's all just sort of it looks like a modern like spa and clinic. It has a very sort of futuristic vibe to it.
All right.
Shaped coral and hello, Abby.
Abby is elaborating.
Glass domed, yeah, kind of thing. Abby's elaborating. Hello, she's a mercat, a domesticated mercat.
Calliope's gonna go check out that clinic.
Okay. Yeah, there's an entrance. There's a whole bunch of people swimming in and out of it.
Nice.
Is Where's like, are you following at a distance to kind of like?
I am.
Surreptitiously?
I am, and I'm kind of pretending like I'm not interested at all.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. I think that's maybe
I'm
like.
highly interested.
Okay. Okay, good.
I think a shadowing. It's not. It's like It's
like a deception.
Yeah, I would say it's more deception than stealth. I think.
In GURPS, it was its own skill.
Yeah, I know.
Say we could be playing GURPS.
It's about to be like it's a stealth with charisma instead of, whatever. But deception works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, here's what I say the difference. I don't want to be unseen. I don't want Calliope to not hear me. It's just I don't want her to understand my intentions.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Deception is doable.
Okay. Do I oppose?
Well, I rolled an out one, so that'll be what it is. So I
would
guess
say
she
you would
knows
take
that I'm like
passive insight.
Hey.
Passive insight is 13.
Okay. Oh, what'd you get? You rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1. I got a 5, but it's like I fumbled on that.
Yeah, it's just like fumbling too close.
Yeah, it's just kind of like we make that awkward eye contact, like it's like I'm talking about Calliope at the lunchroom. The Calliope looks right at me, where I'm like, yeah. So I kind of had a crush on Calliope this week. Oh.
Yeah, she swims up to you.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Calliope.
Hi. What's doing?
I'm investigating
Cool.
your actions,
What
but not
am
in a negative way. I try to learn a bit more about the Fae. I've been very curious. I've heard stories of you and your people, but I've never met a Fae before I met you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you were extremely helpful during that encounter with the abominable goblin fish. And all of the encounters, really.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really talked with you since I cut you out of that net.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you're following me?
Oh, I'm not following you. I'm investigating.
That's fine. Come on. Let's go to the clinic.
Okay.
She lets you join.
Yes, and you like turn and look at the camera and like Wayne's World double thumbs up. It's like follow
Yes.
Calliope this episode.
Zang!
Dang. All right.
Yes.
So you enter into there's sort of like this white marble-esque kind of portico to this thing. There's a great glass dome that rises up out of it, and all sorts of colorful fish and aquatic plants that surround the thing. And then there's like the contrast with the terrestrial life on the inside. And you can swim right in. There's a receiving pool for air breathers to exit, or you can continue along the submerged tunnels. Looks like this place is pretty extensive, and most of it either built into the seamount that's there or the coral that surrounds it. So yeah, you can go just about anywhere. Three main places of this, or the three main sort of components of it, are a fertility clinic, a hospital, and a bio-augment supplier, where they attach all kinds of grafts and arcane organs and the like. Those are the three. But it's primarily a fertility clinic where the various peoples of the Bay of Iridescence, all of them highly magically engineered, can come to have their reproductive needs met. And as you swim in, engraved in aquan across the top is, it says, a monument to sexual reproduction.
Yeah.
Is how they describe this place. Statues of Golan are, of course, everywhere, as well as what are clearly his offspring or something, because you run into his face quite a bit, even though it's not always on a humanoid form.
It's like in a cartoon where you go somewhere and like they use the same character model for everyone.
Yeah.
It's just slightly different. Maybe they're in different clothes or something.
Sideburns. This one's got like a pencil mustache.
Yeah. You're not fooling me.
Yeah.
I see through that mustache.
So yeah, are you looking for help? Are you going to the place?
She's looking for multiple things.
Yeah, it seems like most people know where they're going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And don't. Yeah.
First things first. She wants to see if they have anything that might be good for a Kraken baby. She's very nervous of the Kraken baby, but she wants to be a good aunt.
Gotcha. So, are you in the submerged portion or the air portion?
I kind of assume submerged, because if you're talking about like an aquatic child thing, coupling, whatever, you're going to raise it. You're going to do it probably in the water. So
yeah.
I'll check there first.
So it's like a three-eyed, split-tailed merfolk. Shows up sort of gray, greenish coloration. It's very fine scales. The third is essentially the forehead.
Okay.
And she, gives you an introduction. Welcome to the clinic. I hope that we can be of assistance. And assuming that you're here together, require a degree of privacy, or is this a consultation?
Oh, I don't have any of those desires. I'm merely a chaperone.
Thank you.
I do, but I'm fine. Thank you.
Oh, then you perhaps come and inquire for someone else. And her name is Laken.
Laken.
Laike.
Hi, Laken. By the way, am I getting the impression that Laken is like a mutant? That's a bad term. It's not like I'm judging.
I mean, mutant is. You don't ask her.
Laken out of Adventure Time or Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
No, she's very good at social graces. She wouldn't do that.
Yeah. No, you've Calliope has seen other merfolk like her in old Saltmarsh.
Okay.
As far as you know, this is just a type of merfolk.
Okay.
This is one of those things where like mechanically there's really only like 2 or 3 ancestry options you need for this.
Sure.
And thematically there are way more subspecies than I think I needed to come up with. Places.
Well, emulating real life, like people.
Sure. That's a good way to put it. Mm-hmm. There's a plethora of peoples because most of them come from one of 6 obsessed archmages that were just like, this weekend I'm gonna create a whole new group of people because screw it, I like purple this time. That kind of.
So Calliope starts like, she names off a few things. She's like, okay, well, as official, now Josh can't think of a word for it, but official person who's taking care of the sexual welfare of everyone on the boat.
Okay.
Do you have frog contraceptive? What is going on? Do you have any?
Well, normally the amphibians have
Mhm.
a period of spawning, and there's the act of physical pleasure and reproduction are entirely separate from the two. So we do have options for the corner cases. Like if you follow me, like
Mhm.
she's on it.
Nice. Okay. Calliope's impressed by that. She respects a healthy respect for sexual health.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want that.
All right.
Her next question is, wait, shit. I had 3. We're gonna go with 2 because I forgot number 2. We're gonna go with 3 because I forgot number 2.
All right.
She turns into her otter self.
Okay.
Poof. Well, not a poof. It's kind of a weird, like she kind of turns inside out, just
Sure.
like very briefly. It's very strange.
Obvious strip.
Yeah. She kind of like suddenly like her seal skin and her real skin kind of like lap over each other, and then she's got her blue fur. And she's like, anything you could do about this?
Oh, certainly. Great many procedures that we could undergo. Did this happen? What was this? Describe circumstances. She goes from like attendant visitor mode to like nurse intake mode pretty quickly.
She's good.
And
Yeah. Oh well, okay. Yeah, I'm not from here. If you can't tell, obviously you can tell.
suspicion.
Yeah, and
I don't think either of you are from here.
what?
But that's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, right. Anyway, I was channeling the magic that I've always channeled my entire life. It's very simple, very natural. Then I had a mild mishap. It's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. Can you change me?
Change your fur. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Yes. Right this way. I can't do anything with magic, I'm afraid. That's
Okay.
rare condition. I think it mostly afflicts those from other dimensions. If I understand the theory, she just goes on and on. You tell that there's like she seems quite knowledgeable and also used to dealing with a lot of just weird stuff. Like it's totally normal. And they take you back to a basically like a small room, and it's nice, well lit. You have a great view of just sort of the ocean out of a sort of a crystallized viewport.
Put on a gown and sit right here and wait.
Yeah, and as you get in there, it's like, well, it's services provided gratis due to the generosity of Golan. If you wish, we can make a donation in your name, or if there's something that you wish to give to us as a sign of gratitude, then we would be much appreciative. However, it's not necessary. And it goes through a lot of formalities or what to expect. Basically, someone's going to come in and mess around with your DNA magically, and they're not going to make a big change, but they will make enough of a change to remove this. And original color or something different.
Oh man.
And same link. Any alterations?
That's a big question. I haven't even thought about it. I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps that's a bit much. Perhaps a reversal of the process.
Maybe I can come back later and get a
a
nice auburn going on, maybe.
Most certainly, yeah. And looking at just even passing through the halls here, they see all manner of individuals going in for all kinds of surgeries and procedures.
I should offer up an item after casting Distort Value and say, "Ooh, this is a good donation." I'm gonna do that. Although I'm seeing the value of a spell like that.
Yeah. So as the procedure goes along, it's just like talking to you. Another merfolk comes in. They're sort of like similar to Weirus. Sure, nothing we can do for you. But otherwise, if you're just there to chaperone, they won't bother you.
I bat my eyes at them. That's about all they get out of me.
Thank you. they're professionals here at the clinic, and they get to work gently massaging Calliope's DNA back into its original form. They hook you up to some kind of non-invasive machine,
Yeah.
It's got what looks to be organically grown tubes of some kind, and something. It's mostly flesh and mineralized tissue.
This is like the opposite of the like beautiful world
This is the
she's
Invisible
from.
Sun episode. That's what this
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I'm gonna go to a changery. And
Hook up to your flesh tubes and
yeah, I mean, it takes a while. It takes like, let's say, 10 minutes or so to
oh, hey, wow, okay.
just kind of like taking a casual chit chat. So, are you in for the festivities, for the games, or some other reason? It's like nurse chit chat.
I didn't know that there were games. What kind of games?
At the ruins, not far.
This tickles, by the way. This is really weird.
That should feel pleasant. It's designed to be a desirable experience and no pain involved. Please let us know. There are outliers.
Okay.
But just even in the chit chat between the two of them, this is a routine and normal.
Cool. It's nice to know that when you go in
Change here
to your health clinic, they're going to treat you professionally.
Sure. And yes, the games are, I believe, 2 days or tomorrow. And she just kind of like lets it drop if you're not here for it.
I mean, she'll gossip. She don't want to know about them games if tell.
Well, there's I don't know a lot about them. I've never participated, but last time I went and watched them, there's eel wrangling and race. I believe a wrestling tournament to be held. There's other festivities and the like. The ruins are not far from here. Good swim away, but quite raucous occasion. I think. I do believe that the man himself will be there in attendance this year.
The man that looks like that?
Ah, yes, Golenville.
That.
Yeah, yes. That's pretty sure. Like on free wall, yeah.
Yeah, he's two pillars.
It's sort of like like a tin pot dictator situation.
Yeah. Cool. So she gets her fur changed back.
Yep.
Groovy. Anything else? Anything you wanted to do here, Weiris? Need to do anything? Check out anything?
How are you feeling?
As long as I don't slow down, I'm doing good. Because this is weird. I kind of miss home.
I do too.
Where are you from?
I'm from a faraway land.
Well, I mean, I am too. Could you be more descriptive?
Yes.
Later.
Okay, so Weiris describes. So we travel about 5,000 miles away from the point where our vessel is. We go beyond the endless desert, where the sun hits. There you will find our village. That's where my people are. They're Tritons like me, but they live on the land. There is no water. There's absolutely no swimming. And they've been forced to eke out their existence.
That sounds really sad.
It is.
It's one of the merfolk cries.
That is where I'm from, but that is not where home is. Our home was taken from us. It was taken from us about 2,000 years ago. We were kicked out of the sea, and it became a dark and dangerous place. My people appointed me to go back and take it for them. And you can tell that, although this has been told to Weiris, and Weiris has told this story many times, Weiris has written songs about this and played it from the ship as the ship's musician. Weiris is not telling the truth. Weiris was exiled, but there's no reclaiming the sea for their people. The people really don't care about going back. They more cared about getting rid of Weiris.
Do you think she could read that from your...
I'm telling you so you know, and I assume she would.
Okay. I mean, she grew up around, like, satyrs and tricksters and nymphs and things like that. Not nymphs. Nymphs don't trick you as much as, like, pixies might. Anyway. She's like, well, that's a very good story. We can talk more about it later. If you don't want to talk about it, no, that's fine. Cool. Now run along. I need to do something private. Go.
You're not the boss of me, I say with a chuckle. But I'm willing to go get myself, like... You know how C-3PO wandered through doors and the Ugnaughts got him and ripped him to pieces? That's going to end up happening to Weirus. Chewbacca's going to wear me on his back.
Come here,
for the
we
rest
need
of the
parts. He wandered into the chop shop.
Yeah. So Weirus goes, and travels off.
Thanks for being a gentleman.
Yeah.
Kind of wave, tip my hat.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Calliope, like, maybe does some tests or something, just make sure she's cool. Yeah.
Okay, so they have you want to do like a for them to like do a full
Yeah, the full exam. Like
a full thaumaturgic spectrum exam.
Like how, even in a fantasy world, how often are you going to go somewhere where they're going to be like, we're going to make sure that you have absolutely no illness in you? Like, that's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Get down on that. If I have to pay for it, I still have a bottle of perfume from the Feywild.
Sure. So one thing I forgot to mention when y'all talked was that Bellet, her, 1 foot on, a chest, Captain Morgan style, gave a big speech about.
I really do need to draw her.
The captain and the quartermaster and the paymaster, and basically you do have a position on the ship. You earn a wage, and when there's shore leave, you are paid out of that pool.
All right.
It goes into a long thing. The genius of the quartermaster is getting this and that. There's money in the chest basically, and where is I'll give you. I spent way too much time last week finding out different names for money. Because
I understand, Jim. I understand.
You just do that kind of thing, right? But I can't find the page for it now. So she basically gives you the equivalent of 100 groats. Groats.
Was it kind of like a gold or a?
The equivalent of a silver piece. None of them have the same minting.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as though coinage is based more on condition and desirability than anything else. These coinages are even less than that. There's things like bobs and gubbins. Those are like if someone took a copper and split it into 8 pieces kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Most of the money is like that, or pearls, or valuable shells. They take gold here, and so she has gives everybody some spending money.
Yeah.
So
seems like a good thing to spend it on.
Assume like the prices in the PHB instead of gold pieces are in silver.
Yeah.
And they've got all kinds of stuff here, not just stuff in the PHB. They've got this is a bustling kind of Tortuga-like board.
Just neat.
Yeah. So you do have some money, and there's always trade. There's always other things. There's there's most everything around town is geared towards these games that are going on. Ooh. Anyway, so you wanted to know what Calliope may or may not be infested with.
Yeah, or some kind of curse she might not know about. She did interact with that Rakshasa.
Yes. So they looking at Calliope. This takes a good while. They bring out a big, it looks like almost like an orrery or like a lens, like an eye gold. I have no idea what the device is called. It's like the lens.
Anyway. Yeah.
Not an orrery. That's for doing something else. They bring out one of these, sort of like this thing that fits over their heads. They look through various lenses at you. Spells are cast. Divination's read. They take your horoscope. They do a blood test. They do like a psych exam. They do all kinds of questions. Like it's, they do a whole thing where they take a piece of you and then like force grow it in a thing several times. You like watch a piece of yourself like grow old and die. playing out various scenarios with your cells.
This reminds me of the often heretical Warhammer 40k, like the biotech sect. I forget what they're called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the tech priests.
Yeah, I forgot their names. Anyway,
Vivimancy's has a special place in my heart. So they do this, and all they could tell you is like, well, you're not cursed or nothing's wrong with you. Although it's clear that you're not acclimatized to what the locals call the old magic, or as we like to describe the thaumaturgic emanations of various leftover magic sinks, dumps, poison. It shouldn't affect you immediately, but over the lifetime, you might find it's, just problems.
Yeah.
You can, and she hands you a sort of a script, basically. It's like, any apothecary or alchemist or herbalist should be able to create this. Take it if you ever feel off. And she basically was like, giving you a recipe for like iodine tabs, just something to like not make it as bad, something to kind of like Rad-X,
Yeah.
You still want to like, well, take the medicine. It should take the worst of the effects off, but there's nothing wrong with you. Your magic, however, I'm no arcanist or spell wizard or anything.
A spell wizard.
Spell wizard. Right? But I do know that your personhood, the sum total of you is intimately tied to your magic, and it's undergoing some kind of transformation, or at the very least, turbulence.
Yeah.
Could be temporary, or I would suggest that you find a sage or someone who can answer those kind of questions. But I'm sure.
Thank you.
And like send you out with a sample and a script.
It sounds good to me.
And so this takes about an hour or so. And what's Weirus up to during all this?
Weirus is wandering. Essentially, this kind of environment is really no place for Weirus. He doesn't fit in at all. He really doesn't have much desire to be here. So he wants to get to the bottom of this, and he wants to see what he can learn of Golan and perhaps obtain an audience.
Mm-hmm. Where do you head for that? There's you're basically at the bottom of this. What's it called? Or like so you could go to any of the others, or.
So here's how Weirus would solve this problem, being a Triton of very little brain. Big heart, little brain. I think what Weirus would do is pick a spot where there's people, like as many people as possible, people that seem to be in transit, and would pull out his violin and begin playing and try to attract a crowd. He's a virtuoso on these instruments, one of the greatest musicians that have ever lived. So what he'll try to do is kind of Pied Piper an audience, and maybe they'll be willing to teach him about the place.
Yeah. That sounds great.
If it requires a performance check, I got an 18.
Yes, so got that 18. There is a crowd, and a great many of them are, music is such an integral part of like undersea life, right? Like sound carries so well and has so many sort of qualities to it. So many creatures down here communicate over vast distances through song. So the appreciation for Weir's music is a bit more honest than what Weir's has gotten on the ship lately.
No one has appreciated my art at all.
No one has, but a good deal of like Pisanoids and amphibians, even some drylanders, sort of stop and listen contently, or even just tap their feet, or kind of just
I'm
get
playing a lament too.
Mm.
This is a sad song.
the sadness
Slightly
of it.
forlorn. Slightly forlorn.
Yeah. In that case, they maybe like just get really drawn in and have that look of being absorbed in the profound sadness of it.
Do any of them catch my eye?
In what way? There's several of them that are sort of impressed with
I'm talking Miss Piggy's up to be awarded the beauty pageant, and she sees Kermit in the crowd. That's the kind of eye-catching. I want a song and dance musical number between Weirus and a puppet pig for the next 5 minutes. Never before.
Oh my god.
No,
I don't know. I was like, how do I answer this? I was like,
yeah. I get what you mean. So let's see. Yes, there is in fact someone in the audience who is enamored. Not enamored, but just like captivated by Weirus. And let's see who they are.
Hollywood, and I want her to like go and get her bags and like sail with us. That's kind of...
Ooh, so this is a Lokatha, and they are they're fish people. They tend to be short and more eel-like than others. This one is certainly. And as your song is finishes, you see like a look of that glassy eye, just the look of, I came here to find something for my heart, and here he is. Kind of look. They seem to have be impressed by him.
All right. With that, I imagine we're gonna smash cut to where like I've got ice cream for this eel-like creature, and they're telling me about themselves.
Here, I'll find, my favorite picture of the Lokatha is from the second edition.
Don't they kind of look like catfish?
They catfish-esque, but also I think they kind of look like an eel personally. Some of the stuff Rapper on.
Some interesting. Yeah, there's some interesting.
I'll post.
Yeah.
Let us see what this guy. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep. That's like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, that is very Dr. Seuss. I love the second edition.
Who needs a Thneed? Sorry.
Yeah.
Where's TK to play as the Onceler?
Landscape artist, whoever that was. I love them.
That's, I believe, Tony De La Terza.
That's who it is.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool undersea stuff. Especially Pathfinder has a lot of cool stuff. But anyway, yes, the Lokatha are there. And yeah. So what is Weirus's ultimate aim in this? Is this like sort of like looking for a
I'm attempting to social climb, and this is like one red paperclip, right? So I'm going to trade up to bigger and better and social climb through the ranks of this monument to sexual reproduction.
One step at a time.
That was a Muttley laugh.
Yeah,
You're in a wacky races.
It came to me.
Thank you for that reference. Thank you.
Woke up one day and was just like, that's the name of the place. Anyway, they are a local, someone who frequents the area quite regularly, is here really just for some medical stuff, but also socializing. And they're like, oh yeah, I've been here, staying all the time. Totally no way. They are named Gwoth, GwOTH.
Why all the time?
Oh well, there's just so much to do and see. it's kind of a wonderful place to get away. I be honest, and they lean in close. I like to look at the Drylanders because they're so strange. And that kind of no offense, so look at
None taken. I'm not a Drylander.
Oh yes, I didn't know with the, I didn't want to. Sorry. And so mostly she seems like they seem like a person who's not like duplicitous, but maybe prone to exaggeration.
Yeah.
And like excitable, but honest enough.
What are your aspirations in life?
Well, I've never been to the bottom of any of the trenches that are around here. They say that there's one close by that goes down thousands of feet. And there's
Well, I can hardly fathom it. Ha ha ha.
Oh.
And they sort of like tittle and chortle at that. And if I can be honest, deep green is my favorite, but I don't think I'm cut out for that. We can dream, and then sort of chuckling.
Certainly, we can dream.
Yeah. Depending on how long you talk to them, they're full of like just tidbits of information about the local region.
Yeah, I'm trying to just pick up as much as possible, and then after a while, let them know that if they'd like to journey with us, our ship's outside. Just let them know Weirstoon is affording them passage. I hope this is like a thief or a murderer or some sort of criminal, and it was all a front, and that's how we all die. Because I flirted with a Lakatha. And then I need
a nice little eel man.
Go back and check on Calliope.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Promises of catching up later, and eventually meet up with Calliope. I'm assuming Calliope leaves the clinic, heads back.
Yeah, she tries to regroup with somebody. She finds them.
Okay. So unless there's anything, if there's anything else y'all want to do here, basically Bellet told y'all that plan to stay for a few days. That she plans on, or this is really more what she would have told Weirus, that she plans on laying low here and seeing if Nasher doesn't make an appearance, and try to find a way to shake them again, or at the very least throw them off the trails somehow. She's not quite sure yet how she's going to accomplish that. And is at the moment negotiating just a safe place to house the ship and accommodations for the crew. But I don't really necessarily, I don't know. Anything else y'all want to do in the last little bit?
What you think, Grant?
I'm trying to put together some of the social clues. That's kind of my way of rattling and shaking people for adventure hooks when we show up here. I've learned a little bit more about their wise medical staff.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you stay and talk with Quoth?
Oh, at least 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, okay. So like their whole deal is like there's a ruined city that used to perch on the side of a hill. Like you know that these ruins that they're going to hold the game at used to be a surface city that basically shifted and collapsed into the ocean sometime a long time. And
here's what I want to do.
Close to that is this rift. Other than that, yeah. So.
No, I'll let you finish.
Okay. So there's this rift, and she just kind of just goes on and on. Seems so the gossip is that Marrow are kind of the local ruffians and folk to stay out of the way of. And a particular one named I forgot his name, Kelzagon is this one's name. Sort of the leader of the local Marrow. And she basically, the only other thing maybe of interest she says is that this whole place is has an overlap with the elemental planet air, and she likes being here because drylanders can swim in the water here without need of magic. The water here is enriched with air life.
Crazy.
And it's also kind of why you can sort of glide, fly. You've seen some people that look like they're swimming through the sky through that around that building.
Weirs has a couple goals. The first goal is to find a full list of all the games. Whichever game is the most dangerous and the most solitary, meaning, if there's like one-on-one combat or trying to avoid a tournament. I'm looking more for grand stage events, or if there's like a Coliseum type thing. Weirs wants to kind of use the new social currency to get a whispering campaign so that Weirs will be entered into the most prestigious competition. Because win or lose, if you're at that tier, that like S rank, you're viewed as like a top tier, whether you win or lose. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, only that you follow the quest, to quote Don Quixote. So it's like, Weirs, if there are games, Weirs must prove themselves through their deeds in the games, as knights are known to do.
Yeah, so a list of the games are a turtle shell toss, which would be driftwood surfing. This is accomplished by several means. Some of them are pulled or freestanding. Quipper wrangling, reel angling, not quippers. Eel wrangling. Whoever can hold on to the most eels will win. And then there is.
I just imagine Pee Wee Herman coming out of the pet house holding the snake, just
and then there's water wrestling, which is water wrestling. There's a blitzball tournament, which is like
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like Blitzball.
We need to put together a Blitzball team.
As well as what's known as the main event, which is being organized this year by one of the local lizard folk tribes. You find out the main event is a kind of like a scavenger hunt in the ruins. There'll be a list of items, things that are hidden, and
it's like a Tri-Wizard tournament, like
yeah.
Goblet of Fire.
With the provision that you can use magic, but the items have been awarded to foil such attempts.
Calliope would be good at that.
There's also a race. Those are the those games. A race will be held before the main event.
Yeah. Neat.
So yeah, if you wish to compete, there are places to enlist in the lists, join the lists, as well as sort of declare. There's no like qualifier or anything, so anyone who wants to try in the event is allowed and can attempt it. Although there's a lot of self-selection, particularly with the eel wrangling and the the race.
Not gonna do that, but the Calliope would jump at the chance to try to do the what would you call it? What is it called in Final Fantasy?
Blitzball.
Blitzball, yeah. Yeah. No,
I think Ophelia would too come out with 8 legs. Just all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Great goalie.
Yes. I think we should enter as a team.
We've trained our Kraken babies. This is like their Pee Wee League. Now we believe in you.
You guys are gonna make me design a blitzball game.
I'll help you.
I'm sure. Yeah, let's get together and talk about it.
I think Calliope would make an excellent point scorer person.
Yeah.
Forward?
This is more of like a rugby variant, I would say.
Okay.
Since I was actually reading rules for blitzball today. I was like, that's just soccer in the pool. Come on, give me more. At the very least, the balls float. So
you know what you should do?
Balls are at the bottom. The balls float. So.
Look at the Guild Ball minis game and just convert it to underwater, because that's fun, because you can like fight each other in fantasy combat, or you can play it kind of like soccer. I actually won a Guild Ball tournament a couple years ago. But yeah, that's a good one. The minis are really cool as well.
Cool. I'll check that out. I'm sure there's plenty of people's hacks and things like that to build on or something. Yeah, we'll come up with something fun. All right, so Weirus and Calliope enter the crew into the Blitzball tournament.
We have
Hell
to.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a good place to end for the evening. Just but there are also, like I said, other games. You know, get it. Maybe we'll do that next time. All right. That's great. Thank you, everybody. We're going to call it a little early tonight and go get some rest. But appreciate you guys coming out and watching, hanging out with us.
Oh, yeah.
You guys got anything going on? Anything happening? Any of the outro stuff that you might want to do? I don't know. You know how it goes.
I do, yeah. So this Saturday, I'm sure I've got a bunch of stuff, but but really, this Saturday I'm gonna play a game with my friend Colin, and we're gonna play a game called Knowing You by my friend Summer Job, which is all about relationships that are broken beyond repair. And we're gonna play it as sad cowboys that have shot each other, and we're both lying there dying, as we sort of reminisce about our history together and whether or not we regret ever meeting each other.
Excellent.
That's it.
Oh, that's awesome. And Josh, you got same old. Anything new? What's going on?
Not really. Just staying all together busy, working on about to get some portraits for these guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna start grilling you guys, Grant, on what you want.
I'm starting to get way more refined in the past 2 weeks.
Excellent, good. That's what I want. I know we'll get a few more sessions under us, and it'd be easier to draw that.
Summer gaming. There you go.
I think Weirus's build is like the Matador from the Madonna "Take a Bow" music video. I think "Take a Bow" is Weirus's theme.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a cool video. All right then. Well, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will see y'all next week. I don't know if you guys have checked out yet, but Cobalt Press has a new channel. They've got a game on Sunday nights. I'm playing in that. A Trollkin Ranger who's been raised by Baba Yaga, channeling a little Gildan for this one.
Yeah.
And gentle and kind.
They have a lot of great programming. I know every
Really
other
do.
Monday they do the Game Mastering Guide with Matt Corley and Will Jones.
Yeah.
They have also got the World Tree Burns, so I'm really proud of my friends at Kobold Press.
Yeah, they're really doing some cool stuff. So, yeah, it's a fun game. And, yeah, check us out. Otherwise, that's really all we got going on here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, we'll see y'all later, guys.
Yeah.